Hello, welcome to Hypixel Skyblock, and today is a special video where today we're going to be comparing the Furfsky and ImperalL texture packs. So this whole YouTube thing is pretty new for me, so make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below if you enjoyed the video. So let's get right into it. So we're going to start by taking a look at some of the different textures for different items in Furfsky. So let's start with the swords. Now these aren't all of the swords. We'll take a look at some more of them later. But this is just looking at these swords. You can kind of tell the art style of Furfsky, where everything is like there's nothing big that's super popping out at you, but like the textures look nice and with some nice flowing animations that don't attract too much attention but definitely make the overall feel of the items nicer. So we have the Pooch Sword, the Thick Tactician Sword, Scorpion Foil, the Reaper Falchion, the AOTE, and the Aspect of the Dragons. So next, we'll be taking a look at a couple of the bows. And the bows, I think that were also done pretty well in Furfsky, where this is the Hurricane Bow, this is the Runons, and this is the Explosive Bow. So I like the Runons a lot. I think that it's simplistic, but like the others, it's simplistic, but it looks nice. It's not too over the top. Yeah. So next, oh whoops, we're going to be taking a look at some of the armor sets. So if we go to my wardrobe, so let's start by taking a look at some of the. So this is what the different dragon sets look like. Where if we put on our strong set, like it definitely it has the different colors for the different sets. Or strong dragon is red, young dragon is white, wise dragon is blue, protector is gray, and old is this yellowy color. And there's this. It's kind of the same template, but with different colors for all the different dragon sets. So one thing that I don't like about the Furfsky texture pack is that, especially for the armor sets, it's not like complete. Like for example, there's no texture pack for Angler, there's no texture pack for Crystal, no texture pack for Mastiff or Tarantula. I do like this Miner's Outfit texture pack though. So now let's go to the hub to take a look at some of the textures that we haven't looked at yet. So if we go here, I do very much like the Midas Sword texture pack texture, and because it's a bit bigger than the other ones, but it still looks nice and is pretty simplistic. And this is what superior armor looks like. It's a nice yellowy orange. There's also the perfect armor doesn't have a texture pack. Other things like they just don't have textures, which I find to be definitely a negative part of it. Now, yeah, so they also don't have, for a lot of the different pet stuff, they don't have their own textures. So now I'll meet you back when I switch over to the ImperalL texture pack. So now that I've switched over to the ImperalL texture pack, we can start looking at some of the different items. So once again, let's start out with the swords. So one thing that might jump out at you right away is that all the swords, they have a lot more like specific details and fancy animations, um, and more than Furfsky. And one thing that, and although you can see that it's definitely a different artistic style, with the large different changes, with every weapon getting its own very unique take. Where we have Mastiff, Scorpion Foil, Reaper Falchion, Aspect of the End, the Tactician Sword, Aspect of the Dragons, and they're all also a lot bigger than the Furfsky texture pack. And one thing that I don't like about the ImperalL texture pack is it's very bulky, where compared to the Furfsky texture pack, the weapons are a lot bigger and take up a lot more of the screen, um, which some people don't really care, and some people like me kind of gets in the way. Okay. So next, we have some of the bows. One thing about the bows that is that the bows in ImperalL, they look a lot more. They all have their own textures, but they look a lot more like the normal Minecraft bow, and this is something that I don't really like because um, it doesn't bring the uniqueness into each one of the different bows. So yeah. Then we have different armor sets. So ImperalL, they took a different stance on the different dragon armors. For example, they decided to make the young dragon with its green accents, and so every single one of the dragon color, either a specific color with accents from others. So this is a strong dragon armor, and one thing that I don't really like about it is that it doesn't really look like dragon armor specifically, because it just gives more of a like scale vibe, not specifically like dragons. So next we have the nice tarantula armor set, which I personally really like. Then we have Mastiff, which just makes you look like a dog with a nice tail on the back. Everyone should know that I'm a big fan of that. And then Crystal is, I mean, it's see-through, and I feel like it makes the Crystal texture pack really cool, in my opinion. Um, then Angler, just look like a fish. So now let's go to the hub again. So in this texture pack, Midases, they're actually, they feel like more slender and more careful than the Furfsky, um, which I find interesting because personally I feel like it doesn't really fit the whole theme of ImperalL, which is kind of like the big, bulky, everything has its own super detailed with like animations thing. But yeah, and then we have the mosquito bow, which personally I find to be really bulky. Also a nice Reaper size texture pack with the different parts falling off, which I find really cool. Then we have the superior dragon armor. Okay, so now we have to answer two important questions. Number one, why should you even use a Skyblock texture pack? So the answer to this is simple. Not only does it just personally enhance your Skyblock experience, but it makes different things easier, like seeing what is what in a chest, and just telling different items that might look the same in vanilla apart from each other. For example, I have these three bows that all look exactly the same, but one of them is a Runins, one is a Hurricane, this one's an explosive bow, and they're all used for completely different reasons, and I would want different ones in different scenarios. So I would easily want to be able to tell which one's which. Same thing for this. We have 3 diamond swords and 2 wooden swords. Well, this is an aspect of the end, this is a Reaper Falchion, this is an aspect of the dragon, this is a Tactician sword, and this is a Scorpion foil. All completely different weapons with completely different uses. Another reason is to stop yourself from being scammed by other players. If you use a texture pack, you can easily see if something is fake. Like if they just like dye leather armor, then you'll see that it's just dyed leather armor instead of like actual like superior armor or whatever. And the second question is, which texture pack should you use? Now, personally, if I had to choose one, I would probably choose the Furfsky, but that's because it's more simplistic, which is what I prefer, and I feel like ImperalL is too big and bulky for me. However, because Furfsky is missing some textures, like for the Slayer armors and and for different things, what I do is I actually combine the two, where I have Furfsky overlaid on top of ImperalL, so that the missing textures that Furfsky doesn't provide, I have from ImperalL, which is my personal favorite. So thank you for watching, and be sure to comment if you enjoyed, and subscribe. Thank you.